I know, chasing that dough, hitting that road, getting that money, man. All I know, loading that foe, kicking down doors, getting that money, man. We gon' make it money. We gon' take it Grizzly. We gon' make it money. We gon' take it Grizzly.
You are now tuned into the Boxing Bros. Happy New Year, and we are officially beginning 2022. I want to start this off by saying happy birthday to my brother Wills. Happy birthday. You can wish my brother Wills a happy birthday in the comment section. We actually was at his party last night and early this morning, so we're dragging a little bit. Forgive us. I also want to send a shout out to my brother Trill Dollar Bill, who did Golf Brooks, low places, and shut the place down. But perhaps the most impressive thing that night from my brother Trill Dollar Bill was he was surrounded by alcohol and he didn't take a drink at all. Salute to my brother Trill Dollar Bill, who's approaching 1 year of being sober. That was one of the most impressive things I've seen from you, like, in life ever. So we're gonna introduce ourselves. I'm Caden.
What's going on, everybody? It's the People's Champ, the Commissioner, Trill Dollar Bill.
You know, it's a new year, new G. It's gonna be different. It's gonna be different.
You can try to change, but that's just the top layer. You was who you was before you got here.
And it's the TBE. Happy New Year and happy birthday to all my boxing family, y'all. What up, bro?
So we'll dive right into the first topic. And the first topic is Dillian Whyte goes to arbitration to appeal the WBC's purse bid split of 80-20 in favor of Tyson Fury. Let's take a listen. Eddie Hearn did an interview with Talk Sport, and he addressed this issue. Here's what he had to say.
Let's talk about Whyte against Fury. Frank Warren was saying that Tyson Fury will fight at the end of March. Do you think the opponent will be Dillian Whyte?
Well, I mean, if we win the first bid, Tyson Fury against Dillian Whyte will be when we say it. But there's a lot going on now with the arbitration, the legal case. Dillian Whyte wants his shot. He deserves his shot, and he should be getting a fight with Tyson Fury next. We'll see how that unfolds. It's a great fight. There's no reason why that fight shouldn't take place. It generates a huge amount of money. And we'll see what ensues over the next couple of days.
Are negotiations still ongoing, or do you think it is now a case of almost a certainty it's going to purse bids now?
Yeah, not really a huge amount of negotiations, because obviously there was a ruling from the WBC of an 80-20 split. We don't agree with that. We don't feel like we should accept that. That will be appealed against, via the WBC, via arbitration, or via a legal process. And until that ruling is made, then we'll see where we're at. If that's the final ruling and we have to go to purse bid for that fight, we will bid what we believe the value of that fight is. And clearly right now, we have a very different assessment of that value than other people, according to the bids and offers that have been made to Dillian Whyte.
And finally, as you know, in boxing, these things can take longer than you want them to.
This is Talk Sport. I'm going to subscribe. You can subscribe to Talk Sport Boxing. Stop sharing the screen. So, for those of you who are not aware, Dillian Whyte was offered $5 million to fight Tyson Fury. He rejected. He wanted $10 million. They offered him $5 million. So, they couldn't strike a deal. The WBC ordered a purse bid, and the purse bid split was 80 to Tyson Fury, 20 to Dillian Whyte. And now they're in arbitration because Dillian Whyte wants a 55-45 split with Tyson Fury. And so that's what's holding the fight up. I'm going to turn it over to you, Trill Dollar Bill. What's your reaction to all this?
Oh, man. Poor Dillian. Listen, I agree. Dillian should be compensated well for this fight. But look, you're getting what you wanted, right? You're getting what you wanted. You wanted the date with the green belt, and you're getting what you want, Dillian. I just hope something does it. That's why I say I believe it when I see it, because we've seen the song and dance with the WBC and Dillian Whyte before. Hopefully they can, straighten something out. Dillian can get a little bit more witty. Poor Dillian. I just hope the fight happens and he gets his shot. That's all. That's really all I want for Dillian Whyte. I think he deserves his shot at this green belt that he's been chasing for a while. I just hope that something doesn't happen and he just doesn't get his shot. That's my only problem. You're here. You're at the door, Dillian. You're at the door. You're here. I'll believe it when I see it. I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting. The Dillian in the WBC show. That's what it's. That's what we should have it. For now, when we talk about Dillian Whyte, we're gonna say the Dillian Whyte in the WBC show, because that's what it is. It's Dillian Whyte versus the WBC, not Dillian Whyte versus anybody else. It's Dillian Whyte versus the WBC, because that's who he is.
We gotta bring back the love box.
That's true.
That is.
We gotta bring back the love box.
It is. We're gonna put them in the love box.
Look, Dillian Whyte, WBC, Devin Haney.
I mean, I just hope that something doesn't happen, that he's not able to have this fight, and Tyson Fury doesn't go on to fight somebody else, and then, or he ends up just dropping the belt, and something just happens and prolongs this situation. Dillian Whyte, I'm with you. I know you feel like you should be, compensated heavily for this fight, but if it's not there, it's not there. You know what I mean? Go there and if you believe in yourself, beat him. Then you be the man that, is the A side. That's how I feel, but with this fight, I believe we're gonna see it. It's a long time coming for Dillian.
All right. New G.
Yeah, I'll say this. I think WBC is out of order for the 80-20 split, but I also believe Dillian Whyte is out of order talking about a 45 split. I think both parties are outrageous. Me personally,
You just a little bit more popular than me. Just a little bit.
I'm going to say 70-30 makes sense. Dillian Whyte, he does have a name. It depends too on where it's going to be. Is it going to be here in the States or is it going to be in the UK? If it's in the UK, he could probably make a good argument. But if it's in the States, man, I'm sorry. He's not a pay-per-view guy over here. So to me, I agree with what Trill's saying. Like, yo, you actually have the opportunity to win the belt. And then when you get the belt, you can negotiate on your terms and stuff like that. Right now, you just got to take the belt. I don't think they should give you an 80-20. Hopefully, when Eddie was talking about, their lawyers negotiating a better split for him, hopefully they could get that. But I think what's fair is 70-30 for this fight. And then hopefully from there, man, he could move on from this. And now he's a champion. He could negotiate his own terms with future fights. But I wouldn't even entertain a 45-55 split. That's outrageous to me. And this 80-20 is it's funny money. So I'm like, damn, WBC sound like they really don't rock with Dillian. You know what I mean? But Dillian seems like he's just, his head's in the clouds, man. So I really hope, like, if they say 70-30, just take it and get that fight popping. So that way now you can fight, whoever. You don't even have to fight the other champion. You could just, with that belt, you could fight other guys and make your own money, and to be honest with you, I can see why he's saying 45 because he's selling out arenas in the UK anyways, so maybe that's their argument. They're probably saying like, hey, if we do this in the UK, Dillian's been holding it down, this market, blah, 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 blah. He's a household name in the UK. So maybe that's what they could do to up that, that split. But if it's in the United States, man, we don't care about none of that stuff, man. So Dillian, man, just take whatever they give you at this point so you can finally be a champion.
Real quick, Trill, if you had to give a split, what split would you say is fair for Dillian Whyte?
Well, I get Dillian, right? If he's going in there doing the whole, how we hustle, right? We go in there, we say something high, right?
He's on 45, 55.
We started there high, but I think fair. I can entertain a 70-30, 35-65. I can entertain those numbers right there. Those would be fair. Those would be fair.
All right. Ned, the TBE.
80-20. When you hear that out loud, like I'll give you 80. I take 80. You take 20%. That's like a slap in the face. That's very like insulting. But when you hear $5 million, that's not that bad. But it makes you wonder, like Dillian. For Dillian, if I'm Dillian, it makes you wonder, well, how much is Tyson Fury getting paid? But at the end of the day, that's none of your business, Dillian. $5 million more than enough to be compensated for this fight. But if you could fight for a little extra change, go ahead. But don't do it to yourself where you're this is like dictating your fight, and now you're like, it just puts you in a whole nother mindset. But get paid, brother. You get punched in the face for a living. I can't speak on that, so get every cent you can.
Here's the problem with the world today, particularly in boxing, is everybody wants everything and no one is willing to compromise or concede. And what I mean by that is Dillian Whyte spent all this time campaigning saying he wanted Deontay Wilder, 1,000 days. We've heard the rallying cry, right? We've heard all this. And only to get the fight ordered now, you're next in line and say $5 million isn't enough. $5 million is more than he normally gets, right? $5 million is around what people typically get when they're of his caliber facing the champion. So why does he want more? Okay, let's look at the arguments for Dillian Whyte. He beat Povetkin, but he also got knocked out by Povetkin. He beat Joseph Parker, but he also almost got finished by Joseph Parker in the 12th. And then you saw what happened with Chisora. He beat Chisora, but it was a close fight in their first fight, which they needed a rematch to, have a definitive winner. And he was down on the scorecards. Chisora had lost a point, so Chisora went for broke and got knocked out. But at the time Chisora got knocked out, he was ahead on the scorecards. So he was losing to Chisora when he knocked Chisora out. And kudos to him, he knocked Chisora out. But let's be fair. Chisora has gone on to lose to Usyk, has gone on to lose to Joseph Parker. And to me, Usyk and Joseph Parker did it better than he did the first time. So now let's look at Oscar Rivas dropped Dillian Whyte. When you talk about Dillian Whyte, his popularity is in the UK. But when's the last time Tyson Fury fought in the UK? You think that Bob Arum wants to pay $5 million to Dillian Whyte to fight in the UK? Hell no. They want him to come to America. So Dillian Whyte comes to America. What is his draw in America? What are people going to say about Dillian Whyte in America? Dillian Whyte couldn't sell out a high school arena in America. You understand, all of his lore, all of the people who love Dillian Whyte are across the pond.
Mm-hmm.
Tyson Fury is universally recognized. When you say 80-20, I don't see how they can change that. Tyson Fury's highest paydays are in the range of, I don't know everyone's money, but if you go off of what people are saying, he made 50 million. Some people saying he only made 20 million. But notice those numbers in comparison to 300,000. And you're talking about someone about to get their highest payday and they're still not satisfied with it. I don't know when that started happening in boxing because it didn't used to be that way. People used to be grateful for their greatest payday. This thing, what's the other guy making? Just is crazy to me. So you're Caleb Plant and you're about to fight Canelo. And they tell you flat out you're going to make $10 million. $10 million more than you've ever made. Probably if you take every other fight you had in your career and combine the purses more than you ever made for one fight, and you're going to say, well, what's Canelo making? Don't matter. He's making what he normally makes based on what he generates because of who he is, and he could fight someone else and give that other person a $10 million. Dillian, you're only in front of Tyson Fury because you're his mandatory. If you weren't his mandatory, he could still make money fighting someone else. He's your meal ticket. He's your chance at solidifying yourself. He's your chance at elevating yourself. You benefit by fighting him. He could care less about fighting you. So why do something that could potentially ruin you getting your shot? You know it took 1,000 days, and if this doesn't go well, and Fury says, forget the belt and throw it in the trash, people are going to be like, if they order Fury to fight Dillian Whyte at a 55-45 split, we all know Fury's going to throw that belt in the trash and fight whoever he wants. And Dillian Whyte's going to be the newest Pride champion. That's what's going to happen. You know, at the end of the day, man, I really miss the days when boxing was about getting the opportunity, proving that you're the best, taking it instead of trying to milk the cow, instead of worrying about other people's pockets, worrying about this. And when all is said and done, if this fight doesn't happen, because Dillian, to me, it's on himself. Like I will be done feeling sorry for Dillian. Yo, 80-20. If they say it's 80-20 and it's 80-20, to me, that's fair. Because you look at Tyson Fury's resume, not to say that it's as good as Dillian, because some people will argue Dillian has a better resume, but let's look at money generated. It's not even close.
Definitely. This is a very, very compelling argument, bro. And I actually agree with you. But just to play devil's advocate, what would you say to the people who feel like Dillian Whyte deserves a major payday after being through all those wars and being dropped those many times, like you just alluded to? What would you say to those people who feel like this is him
cashing out,
or trying to cash out? What would you say to them, my brother?
Well, I think like you can have emotion. There's like having an emotional attachment, sentimental value to like a story, right? But all those things don't matter when like you're at the negotiation table. It's like, yo, I feel for you. I understand what you're trying to do. But, at the same time, here's what you generate. Here's what you've done. It's like, take Caleb Plant, for example. Caleb Plant could go to the table with Canelo Alvarez and be like, I'm trying to do this for Tennessee. I'm trying to bring these belts to my daughter. I'm trying to do all that. Yo, all that's emotional. All that, yo, I feel all that. But in the end, here's what this guy generates. Here's what you generate. Like, and with Dillian, it's like, yo, I feel for Dillian, but his beef is with the WBC. His beef is with them and what they've done. So if he wants to cash out, we'll see. What maybe the 20% ends up becoming more than 5 million. Maybe it won't. It's his gamble. But at the end of the day, I don't feel like he was being robbed. If I felt like he was being robbed, I'd be on the train too. Like, yo, hook Dillian up. But I think $5 million is $5 million.
I agree with you, my brother. Let us know how you feel in the comment section. Please like and subscribe. Check us out on Instagram and Twitter. And please check out our podcast on all major streaming services. We're just getting started with the Boxing Bros.
You're welcome.